On the 119th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast, we're going to be talking about some MLB postseason news and updates. We have our NFL pick'ems and news. We will be ranking different sports Hall of Fames. The Aces have won the WNBA Finals. And make sure you use code HatTrick Sports. We're checking out at w.gg for 10% off your order. Roll it! Welcome to HatTrick Sports, starring your host, Isaiah Carpenter. Bringing you the biggest sports headlines every week. This is the HatTrick Sports Podcast. We are going to start it off with All Reliable. We have MLB news. The MLB postseason is in full swing. The championship series have been set. You have the Blue Jays playing the Mariners in the AL, and then you have the Brewers playing the Dodgers. Now, let's take a step back. Let's take a little recap, a little notable news of the Divisional Series. The Blue Jays offense is unbelievable. They ended up beating the Yankees. Their offense looked amazing. I don't know who their hitting coach is. Blue Jays hitting coach. But unbelievable. The Blue Jays are unbelievable. The hitting coach for the Blue Jays is David Popkins. David Popkins, the hitting coach of the Blue Jays. You might as well sign him for $500 million. Absolutely insane. The Blue Jays are absolutely insane. Now, the Mariners were playing the Tigers. That went into that was an interesting series. But the Mariners ended up winning, taking the win. That was the game where, hold up 1 second. The Mariners Tigers. So the Mariners and Tigers got competitive there for Game 4, I believe. Yeah, Game 4 in the Mariners Tigers Divisional Series, it got really competitive because it went into 15 innings. I have not seen in a long time a game go into 15 innings. The Dodgers in 2018 went into 18 innings. That was unbelievable. This was also crazy. But the Mariners ended up winning. It was just back and forth. It was a good baseball game, good pitching, good hitting, good offense, good defense. It was just a great fundamental game. And but the Mariners ultimately took the series. But I do think that with the Blue Jays, the Blue Jays have only played a few games because they didn't have to play in the DS. And same with the Mariners. The Mariners didn't have to play in the DS either. But since the Blue Jays just went through the Yankees, and the Mariners having the Mariners having to play the 15-inning games and it going into five games and all that good stuff, I think that the Blue Jays are easily going to potentially sweep the Mariners, even though in my bracket that I started before the postseason started, it's perfect right now, but I did have the Mariners beating the Blue Jays. But now that we've seen the Blue Jays in the postseason, I think that the Blue Jays will end up beating the Mariners. Let's talk about the Blue Jays to Mariners because of the Cubs series. Let's talk about the Dodgers. The Dodgers playing the Phillies. So the Dodgers obviously were up. What were they up? 2-0, and then the Phillies won Game 3. Then the Dodgers ended up winning Game 4 to secure a spot in the NLCS. But everybody was talking about that bad error that led the Dodgers to that win. People were talking more about the Phillies losing than the Dodgers winning, which I don't love. Obviously, it was a horrible error. We all know what I'm talking about. It was a horrible error. Every pitcher knows to throw to first there. The pressure got to him. And it costed them the season and the postseason. And that was an intense series. That was a very good series. The Phillies are a very, very good team. Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, Bryson Stott, they're all incredible guys, incredible athletes. And the Dodgers to win like that, yeah, it's unfortunate for the Phillies. But at the same time, why are we talking more about the Phillies losing than the Dodgers winning? You know what I mean? I feel it's just more people are talking about that error than the Dodgers winning and moving on, which I don't love. Obviously, that's coming from a Dodgers fan. But, the Phillies are out. Hey, he's going to learn his lesson, and that error is not going to be made again. But I think of it as playing baseball. Again, it's different for pitchers. The pitchers are hey, I got to throw strikes, especially in a situation like that. I have to throw strikes. I can't walk this guy. I just have to throw strikes. And I get it. He's coming out from the bullpen, and he's not thinking right. But you got to think hey, it takes 2 seconds to think about, hey, if I get the ball, where am I throwing it? you're going to throw it to first. It takes 2 seconds to think about it. From the time that you're going from the bullpen to pitching, I get it. You're trying to think of pitch sequences and location and trying to throw strikes and win the game. You got to think about PFPs. That's a very important part of baseball, and pitching and the defensive position of pitching is PFPs, and you just got to do better. You got to do better than that, and because it'll cost you the postseason. The Brewers and Cubs, they also went at it. That went into 5 games, but the Brewers ended up winning, so they will face the Dodgers. Now, I was hoping the Dodgers would face the Cubs because I think the Cubs would be an easier team, but the Brewers, I'm confident. I think the Dodgers can beat the Brewers, especially after the Phillies. I think in the regular season, obviously, the Brewers, stats-wise, was better than the Phillies. But I think that the Phillies as a team in the postseason is better than the Brewers. So I'm hoping that they give us that little bit of challenge so we're not going into the World Series cold. I do want a little bit of challenge. I would like it to go into, obviously, this is a best of 7. So I would like it to go to 5 games. If the Dodgers have to lose one, but it means that's more competitive to set us up for the World Series, I wouldn't hate that. If we're up 3-0 and we have to give them a win, not even give them a win, but just have to fight for that, I wouldn't be mad with that. But again, on the AL side, you have the Blue Jays and Mariners. Before the postseason started, again, I had this bracket completely perfect so far. I had the Mariners beating the Blue Jays, but right now, with the Blue Jays offense, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that the Blue Jays are going to end up beating the Mariners. Cal Raleigh hopefully can have a good series. The Mariners have good pitching, but again, the Yankees also had somewhat good pitching, and the Blue Jays just stomped on them. It's just wild. Yeah, so that's just the postseason bracket as of right now. Let's talk about this MLB AL MVP race. Now, these will be announced. All the awards and stuff are announced on November 13th, I believe. So we are a month away. But the biggest race, the most intense race right now is Cal Raleigh versus Aaron Judge. Now, obviously, this isn't in the postseason. This is all strictly regular season. And one of them is going to win. Either Aaron Judge or Cal Raleigh is going to win. I personally think that Aaron Judge should win, even though I'm a bigger Cal Raleigh fan than an Aaron Judge fan. That being said, whichever one wins, the other side shouldn't complain that their side didn't win. You know what I mean? I don't know if that made sense. But, if Cal Raleigh wins, Yankees fans shouldn't be like, oh, they stole it from Aaron Judge. And same vice versa. If Aaron Judge wins, Mariners fans shouldn't be like, oh, they stole from Cal Raleigh. No, they both deserve an MVP, and there's a small chance they both can win. Just the baseball writers have to split the votes, which is highly improbable, but it's happened before. But Aaron Judge isn't a switch hitter and the best defensive catcher in the league. But Cal Raleigh doesn't have the offensive stats that Aaron Judge has, besides the home runs, obviously. But they both have great arguments. The other side just shouldn't be mad that the other one won. In my opinion, they should both win, and I'm hoping that the baseball writers split the votes. And again, there's a chance, a small chance that it happens. But I personally think that Aaron Judge deserves it more than Cal Raleigh. But I won't be mad. I want Cal Raleigh to win it. I just think that Aaron Judge deserves it a little bit more. But Aaron Judge, again, he's not the best defensive catcher in the league. It's offense and defense. Defensively, Cal Raleigh's better. I mean, obviously in the postseason, it doesn't count toward the MLB, the MVP race. But Cal Raleigh just throwing guys out in the Tigers in extra innings. You're 13 innings deep, you're tired, you're squatting behind a plate for 5 hours, and you still just a beautiful throw. So yeah, I don't want to hear from the other side that they stole the MVP, because no MVPs will be stolen. Let's talk about some suspensions in the Padres clubhouse. The Padres, Jose Iglesias, oh my God, what's his Candelina, whatever, the Latin American music artist that also plays for the Padres, Jose Iglesias was suspended will be suspended for 1 game and fined, along with Bogarts, who will just be fined for a little confrontation with the MLB umpires as they were eliminated from the playoffs. I love that the Padres were eliminated. I hate the Padres. I hate the guys on the Padres. I feel like the Padres aren't a good people. You know what I mean? It just feels like Machado, Tatis, they cheat the game a little bit. Tatis, obviously, with his ringworm, whatever he wanted to call it, the drugs, the PEDs that he was on, you're trying to cheat the game. Manny Machado's obviously played dirty his entire career. I just feel like the Padres aren't good humans. You know what I mean? And maybe that's going a little far, but I just don't see them as good humans. But now Jose Iglesias and Xander Bogaerts will be fined, and Iglesias will be suspended. And sure, I will say, so basically what happened is the umpires, I don't know why they have it like this at Petco, but the umpires go down to the dugout into their clubhouse. The umpires have their own separate clubhouse. And as they were going down, Iglesias and Bogaerts and the whole Padres coaching staff and everything were yelling at the umpires because there was a bad call that didn't really affect how the series went. Like, let's be honest, the Padres weren't going to win that series anyway. But yeah, they got fines for almost like trying to tackle him. It was kind of weird. It was a weird scene that kind of went viral across social media. But Iglesias is eligible to become a free agent this fall, and if he appeals the suspension, which I doubt he will, just take the one-game suspension, dude. Like, you're not going to win that. The discipline would be put on hold until the appeal process is finished. But again, by the time, like, next season, that should be fine. He's just going to wait to appeal it. It's going to be dumb. It's going to be stupid. Yeah, let me see the stats. So yeah, this is what happened. The home plate umpire, DJ Rayburn, called a third strike on Bogaerts for the first out in the ninth inning on a pitch that appeared to be below the zone. An infuriated Bogaerts argued with Rayburn while manager Mike Schilt ran onto the field to defend his player and to speak with Rayburn. Again, like, I get it. Your team's on the cusp of being eliminated from the playoffs. You have to go represent. That's not my problem. The problem is, like, wait, let the umpire. Like, it's their job. They're going to mess up sometimes. It didn't really, like, you were going to be eliminated. Let's be honest. You guys were going to be eliminated either way. So they will both be fined, and then Iglesias suspended. And I hope that he appeals and he's still suspended. Oh, let's talk about Albert Pujols, the potential next head coach, the potential next manager for the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I have my own kind of opinions on this, and I'm going to share those opinions. So Albert Pujols was obviously one of the best players in the 2000s. I believe he won 3 MVPs. I had the stats up here earlier. Let's see if I could find them. Yeah. In December 2011, he signed a 10-year, $240 million contract, which, again, was a lot of money at the time. Still is, but that was a whole bunch of money at the time. And then it included a 10-year, $10 million personal services contract that kicked in after he retired, so he's still getting paid. And what becomes of that deal would likely be part of any financial negotiations that would inevitably take place with the Angels. So obviously Ron Washington is no longer with the Angels, and they are looking for a new head coach. Albert Pujols has coached like some Dominican. He coached earlier this year. Let me see if I could find it. Yeah, the Dominican winter ball team over last winter. So he has a tiny bit of coaching experience, but nothing like the MLB. I say, like, I get it. Most of the managers in the MLB right now are former players. I don't think that Albert Pujols can do a lot with the team that he will be given, and then he'll get blamed a lot for that. And I don't think that he would be a great coach, a great head coach, especially after he's only retired a couple years ago with the Angels. I just don't think that he would be a great head coach. Now, if you put him on the bench coach, which this won't happen, if you put him as a bench coach, and then in a couple years, if he's doing good, you bring him up as the head coach, as the manager, I can see that. I can't see that won't happen, but I think that would be the better route to go. I just don't think that Albert Pujols would be a great manager. There are 6 different teams looking for a manager, and I think all 6 are kind of looking at Pujols, or at least keeping them in the back of their minds. But yeah, the Angels are the only one that have publicly announced that they were talking about it. No official offers or nothing yet. And again, we have 4 months to figure it out, 4 or 5 months to figure it out. But yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's going to be that good if he does end up doing it. What's next for Kyle Tucker? So obviously after the Cubs were eliminated from the playoffs by the Brewers, Kyle Tucker becomes a free agent. Now this was a big thing in the what is it called? The trade deadline. At the trade deadline, what Kyle Tucker was going to do. and if he was going to be a rental or just what was he going to do with his career, and if he was going to get traded, again, rental, maybe sign an extension. I don't know. There were a lot of rumors that he was going to go to the Dodgers at the trade deadline. I don't think that I could see him going to the Dodgers just because, like, we have in the postseason, we have prospects playing in the outfield. No, they all deserve to be there and stuff, but I think Kyle Tucker would add a lot to the team, especially if we win the World Series or even come up short. I think that Kyle Tucker could add a lot to the team. I just have mixed emotions about him. Obviously, he didn't cheat. Obviously, he wasn't on the Astros team when they cheated. I just don't like Astros in general. I just get the ick when somebody was a former Astro. But again, I liked him with the Cubs. He kind of reminds me of like a Corey Seager. Like a young kind of stud coming up. Earlier in the year, he was in the MVP race, and then he broke his hands, and that kind of ruined his chances there. And he wasn't going to win. He wasn't going to win, not with Shohei Ohtani in the NL. But yeah, I think he wants to stay with the Cubs, but realistically, I don't think that's going to happen. He said, we'll see what happens. His contract would be up there. It would probably be upwards of $400 million. And, he would, in free agent, he agreed to a $16.5 million deal to avoid arbitration this season. He says, I don't know what the future is going to hold. If not, it was an honor playing with these guys, and I wish everyone the best of luck. Seems like a good guy. Again, he reminds me kind of a 2017, 2016 Corey Seager. I hope he goes to the Dodgers. I want the Dodgers to get him. I just know it's going to be expensive, and I know the Dodgers, being a Dodgers fans in the 30s and 40s isn't going to be fun, and adding a lot of deferred money, I'm just not, like, we're getting closer to the 40s, like, we're in 2025 now, 2035, I'm not going to be, like, I'm going to be a big Dodgers fan, it's just not going to be as exciting, especially if we keep signing guys with deferred money and stuff. All right, let's move on to our Week 6 NFL Pick'ems. Last week, we did absolutely atrocious. I think we only got 3 wins. It was just every game was an upset. Every single game was an upset. Luckily, I had some upsets, but, like, geez, it was just horrible. So, obviously, we'll talk more about the Thursday night game after the Pick'ems. The Giants ended up beating the Eagles, and then the Broncos and Jets are playing right now on this TV right here. We see that the Jets are up 11-10. With about 20 seconds left in the third quarter. So we will start with the 1 o'clock games, the afternoon games. Let's start off with the Seahawks and Jags. I have to take my Seahawks. You have the Chargers and Dolphins. I think this game is going to actually be close. McDaniel is trying to keep his job, but I think, I don't know, Tua and Herbert were in the same draft class. The Tua was drafted before Herbert. But I think that the Chargers are going to win. The Rams are playing the Ravens. I think this is also going to be close, except the Ravens just have 0 defense. So give me the Rams. You have the Colts and Cardinals. I really, really hope that the Colts will win, and I also think that the Colts will win. You have the Cowboys and Panthers. Hopefully Jerry Jones doesn't flip off any Panthers fans, but I will take the Cowboys. You have the Patriots and Saints. Nobody's watching this game, but give me the Patriots. They're doing better than they were in the last few seasons. You have the Browns and Steelers for a little division matchup. It's being played in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's favored. Pittsburgh's better, so give me the Steelers. You have the Titans and Ravens. As much as I hate Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, I think that the Raiders will win. You have the 49ers and Bucks. I don't know who's favored. I think the Bucks are technically favored here, but I think with how tight the NFC West is, I think that the 49ers will find a way to win. You have the Bengals and Packers. Give me the Packers. You have the Lions and Chiefs for Sunday Night Football. This is one of the best Sunday Night Football games of the season so far. The Chiefs have a slow start to the season. The Lions are doing all right, but the Chiefs need to kick it in, and I think that kind of starts tonight. If they beat the Lions, they can beat a whole bunch of other teams. The Chiefs have had a whole bunch of like Monday and Sunday night football games and Thursday night games, and they haven't played a lot like regular Sunday games. But it's being played in Kansas City. So give me the Chiefs. And then we have 2 Monday Night Football games. We have the Bills and Falcons. This should be an easy Bills win. And then you have the Bears and Commanders. I think that the Commanders will end up getting the win. So those are our Week 6 NFL Pick'ems. Yeah, I just need to make sure that's recording. Camera's been messing up a little bit. All right, let's talk about Scatterbo. Scatterbo, my fantasy boy. So I did draft Cam Scatterbo, and I kept him after the first few weeks. You know, you got to believe, Ted Lasso, believe. And, yeah, Scatterbo did phenomenal. Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo doing absolutely amazing things in New York, beating Super Bowl champions, the Eagles, on Thursday night, winning 34-17. Oh my goodness. Scatterbo, I believe, had 3 touchdowns, got me 31 fantasy points. Let's go. Yeah. Scatterbo ran for 3 touchdowns. Dart had 1 rushing and another passing, and the Giants beat the Eagles in the 34-17 win on Thursday night. Yeah, just a couple weeks ago, the Eagles were undefeated. Dart said, quite honestly, nobody really expected us to put up a performance like this. Jackson Dart was 17 of 25 for 195 yards passing and had 13 carries for 58 yards. He says, we felt confident. We just tried to play hard for each other. We're not trying to make statements. We're just trying to play for each other and win games. And guess what? That's what they're doing. Russell Wilson's going to be out of a job. Is Russell Wilson going to get out of his Hall of Fame guaranteed? No, that's not going to happen. Russell Wilson will still be a Hall of Famer, but you got to hang him up, man. You just have to. I'll like you again when you hang him up. Yeah, just Scatterbo, absolutely amazing. He was 4 yards out, and then he just like ran in. He bulldozed his way in, 4 yards out, and twice from the 1 yard line. He got 2 touchdowns there. The duo is just unreal. Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterbo is unreal. Cam Scatterbo is a freak of nature, though, man. He is just unbelievable. The way he acts, like, he's just like, he doesn't run out of energy. I don't get it. He's like slamming his head and stuff. It's like, dude, calm down, relax. Like, I get it. You want to win. You're excited to be in the NFL. You're excited to have 3 touchdowns on Thursday Night Football against the Super Bowl champions, Eagles. But come on, dude, like, we're not trying to get you on a concussion protocol. I'm starting to like you. I'm starting to really like you, especially in fantasy. Just calm down, stay healthy, keep doing what you're doing. Let's talk about Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones was fined $250,000 for flipping off some Jets fans a couple weeks ago. He was not going to appeal the suspension, and I did the math. So Jerry Jones is worth approximately $17 billion, and that is billion with a B. And if he is being fined $250,000 by the NFL, that is the equivalent to, I looked it up, the average American has $1 million. That's just what Google says. And the equivalent of $250,000 for Jerry Jones to the average American making $1 million is $14.71. So that's just crazy to me. That's how much like $17 billion is worth. Most people cannot even comprehend $17 billion. Like, I wouldn't even know what to do with my hands. Like, $17 billion is a lot of money, but obviously he's not going to appeal it. Just like if you get, I don't know. It's just if you gave away $14.71. It's just wild. But yeah, he said on a radio things that he thought he gave the thumbs up and instead flipped a Jets fan off. It was kind of a funny video. It's kind of funny watching the old guy flipping guys off. I'm not a big fan of Jerry Jones. I don't think that he does the Cowboys well. Owns, manages, whatever title he wants. I just don't feel like he does great with the Cowboys. But this incident's just like funny. It's just funny. Oh, 24. I thought that said 34 minutes. Let's go on ranking Hall of Famers, Halls of Fame. All right, let's talk about Hall of Fame by sports. So the 4 major U.S. sports, you have the MLB, NBA, NFL, and NHL. And we are going to be seeing how many players are in each Hall of Fame. So in 4th place, the hardest to get in is Major League Baseball. They have 351 Hall of Fame inductees. I feel like baseball in this list is going to be the most recognizable. Obviously, in the NBA, I'll talk more about that. But, like, the MLB Hall of Fame is more talked about than any other sport just because of it's not really that small now. It's 351. It's just a good baseball is just that thing, where people remember names and dates and stuff like that. It's a very historic game, America's pastime. And so I think that's why the Hall of Fame is talked about more, but has the least amount of inductees in it. At number 3, you have, in third place, you have the NFL. They have 384 inductees. Now, out of all 4 sports, they're probably tied with the NHL of, who doesn't really know, it's just not talked about enough. The Hall of Fame's just not talked about enough. It's mostly quarterbacks, and I think it's talked more about, current players like Aaron Rodgers, not current, but, recent players like Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, it's more of, a current state of, are they going to make it into the Hall of Fame, whereas, MLB is more of, the past, 50 years ago. And in second place, you have the NHL, 445 inductees. That is a lot of players in the NHL, but the NBA is in first place with 482 Hall of Fame inductees. Now, you have all of the obvious ones like Shaq, Kobe, Jordan, LeBron's obviously going to make it. The NBA is talked about quite a bit. Just because it's another kind of historic game, especially in the 70s and 80s and all that. So yeah, that's just a little Hall of Fame by sports. Let's talk about the WNBA. Now, I am not a big fan of the WNBA. I'll watch it once in a while. It's just shots like this, or even like this. It's shots like this. That just doesn't. It's just not a fun league to watch. Now, I keep up with storylines and stuff like that, but the Aces swept the Mercury in 4 games to win the 2025 WNBA Championship. This is their third championship win in the last 4 years. 4-game sweep against the Mercury is really, really good. Again, I watched Game 4. It was on Friday night. I watched Game 4 a little bit, and yeah, they stomped on the Mercury. It wasn't even close. And yeah, they ended up getting the win. Again, I'm not hating on the WNBA. I want to make that very clear. I'm not hating on the WNBA. I just don't watch. It's just I don't know. They just miss a lot of shots, and it's not as fun as NBA or MLB or NFL or NHL. It's not they just miss a lot of shots. It's kind of funny, but it's not against women or anything. It's just stat-wise they miss a lot of shots, and it's just kind of come on, just make one. We'll go 2 minutes without a score. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about LeBron's second decision and my thoughts on this. Now, I gave my thoughts out on TikTok of last week, and this might be a little late. I might be a little late to the party here. I'm not a big fan of LeBron's second decision. I am fine if so it was Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever. It was something Tuesday. He posted a teaser to second decision, and my immediate thoughts and everybody's immediate thoughts were, hey, he's gonna announce the farewell tour. He's gonna announce his retirement. He's going to move somewhere else. He's gonna get traded. Something along those lines. That's what my initial thoughts were, and then I looked at the video. I was like. His first decision was with ESPN, and on that last graphic where it said the second decision, I would assume that it would have the ESPN logo on it or something like that. And then in the captions, it didn't really tell us where to watch it or how to find out about it. So I was getting a little skeptical there, but I still thought I didn't really think much of it. I was like, okay, he's probably just retiring. And then the next day, he comes out. It was 11:15 or something like that. And Hennessy puts out an ad of the second decision, and it was just a Hennessy ad. So this is what my thoughts are. It's a great ad for Hennessy, and it's a great marketing tactic. I think that for LeBron James, it was a disrespect to the game. I think if he really wanted to retire, that would have been a great game to do it, or a great way to do it. And I just think it's a little disrespectful to the game. Now, what I wouldn't be mad about is if he never posted that first day, if he never posted that teaser, because that's what everybody, Americans lost millions of dollars betting on whether he would retire or not, or on tickets. Ticket scale skyrocketed after that announcement, and then he announced that it was just an ad. So if he didn't post the teaser and just the ad in general, I would have felt a lot more comfortable, and I would have felt like that wouldn't have been as disrespectful. But no, he ended up just posting the teaser. The teaser is what I don't like. Like, I don't like how he posted a teaser the day before, and then it didn't even come out on time. There was a Hennessy thing. It was just all messed up, in my opinion. A lot of people are going to think other things, but that's just my opinion on LeBron's second decision. All right, that is going to do it for the 119th episode of the HatTrick Sports Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. You can listen wherever you listen to podcasts: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, your Amazon Alexa, YouTube for all the visuals. Make sure to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. And go to shop@HatTrickSports.com to get some amazing merchandise. And we will see you guys next week for episode 120.